watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6.
The government closer to purchasing the Grand Lucaine Resort. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, first at 6. Thanks for tuning in tonight. The government has taken the legislative step to ensure that the financial deal and remaining balance of payment is made for the Grand Lucaine Resort in Grand Bahama. A resolution seeking to borrow $35 million to guarantee the loan to Lucaine Renewal Holdings Limited was tabled in the House of Assembly today. The hotel is being purchased at $65 million. A down payment of $10 million was made, followed by $20 million. Presenting the resolution to the House of Assembly today was Minister of Finance, Deputy Prime Minister, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, who says it represents a strong indication of the government's commitment to Grand Bahama.
That the health and strength of the Grand Bahama economy is vital to the overall growth of the economy of the Bahamas. As such, it would be irresponsible for any government to ignore the plight of that economy and its major economic drivers. There is no doubt that the Grand Lucaine is a significant factor in the future of the economy of Grand Bahama. Despite or notwithstanding its 450 employees.
The resolution will be debated in the House of Assembly tomorrow. The Minister of Finance, who is also the Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, indicated that the Grand Lucaine Resort will eventually provide spin-off benefits for many Grand Bahama residents.
Attached to that property are a number of ancillary small and medium-sized businesses, individuals who derive their economic livelihood as a result of that property. Not only are we talking about the straw vendors across the street, the Lucaine marketplace, not are we talking about the taxi drivers, the wood carvers and all of the artisans that practice from that place. We're not only talking about the cruise ships that arrive daily that provide guests and visitors to that property. Where we're talking about restaurants, we're talking about the average Grand Bahamian who depend upon this entity for economic activity.
Well, the economy of the nation's second city has still not yet rebounded, and unemployment numbers remain a major concern for officials at the Department of Labor. Labor Director John Pinder telling our news team that the lack of skilled workers, a gap in the skills bank, and low-waged salaries offered for key positions could be the reasons for the increase in unemployment numbers.
I was disappointed to hear that Ocean Key was looking for a number of carpenters, plumbers, and some other skills to do a project on Ocean Key. My information is they were able to find 12 persons to meet some of the skill sets they're looking for. They can't find skilled plumbers in Grand Bahama. And so that's a concern. One would think that plumbing shouldn't be so hard to, plumbers shouldn't be so hard to find, but that's an issue that they have in Grand Bahama, and so maybe Ocean Key have to look in one or two of the other islands to find plumbers.
While applauding the government for the purchase of the Grand Lucaine Hotel, the Labor Director recommends that they build on some of the economic and social programs already in place to help get more Grand Bahamians employed.
I think buying a hotel was a good idea. They maybe have to, even in the renovation stage, it's going to put a lot of Bahamians to work. I only can borrow a statement from former Prime Minister Lyndon Dillon. The many got to take you to few until such time they catch up. And that's just the way it can be. Because you have to look at the social aspect of that. In that hotel in Grand Bahama, a number of persons working at the hotel in Grand Bahama that the government purchased is the only person working in the household. So all this talk that people carrying on with, they don't understand the social impact of that hotel. That had 400 people employed around that. I work closely with the union there. I'm trying to get some matters resolved. And yes, unfortunately, the government may have to pick up the tab as relates to outstanding funds owed to some of those persons who were disengaged when the hurricane damaged the ports of the hotel.
Officials at the Department of Immigration remain committed to clamping down on illegal migrants working in the country illegally and those persons who hire them. It's keeping with the government's no-tolerance approach to deal with persons who break the country's immigration laws. Director of Immigration Clarence Russell explains.
If there is anyone out there in the sound of my voice who is participating in any act that is in contravention of the current laws of the statutes of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, rest assured, we will find you and we will deal with you. We encourage persons who would wish to take advantage of the beauty of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas to do so in the right way.
Director Russell also addressed the benefits of the department's move to go electronic. After a soft launch, the immigration director says the plan is to update those offices in the Family Islands, all as a part of reforming the organization.
We are in the process as we speak with CBN on board of doing the entire reformation of the immigration department. That is quite a mandate, but we are up to the task. We launched last week. We have had no severe glitches thus far, and we hope and pray that it remains that way. But gone will be the days when files are disappearing and when you have to go into corridors to get necessary action. It will be a one-stop shop, and hopefully in the not-too-distant future, we will consider diversification of the agency.
Crossing over now to news from the crime beat, the Royal Bahamas Police Force concerned about the amount of prolific offenders being released on bail. However, Assistant Commissioner of Police responsible for crime, Clayton Fernanda, says officers will continue to do their part to keep the community safe.
Charge an individual today for murder, and the next 2-3 months you in the grocery store and he is shopping right on the side of you. Something is wrong with that. Something is wrong with that, and it needs to be addressed. But we will continue to arrest and do our part. We will stay in our lane and do our part. The record will show that the police did their part, and we will continue in that way.
ACP Fernanda also revealed that the Royal Bahamas Police Force will execute a number of strategies in the fight against crime.
Be a step ahead of the game. We look at the crime trends, and we evaluate it, come together as a team, and then we put our strategies together. So you will see operations, operations, operations.
Now to the Daily Crime Report. Police here in the capital investigating a home invasion yesterday. A man was inside his home on Bahama Road in the Nassau East subdivision when he heard noises coming from another room of the house. When checking, he discovered 2 armed men in a bedroom. The men held him at bay and robbed him of cash, cell phones, jewelry, and electronic items before escaping the property. A short time later, flying squad and mobile division officers were tipped off and searched a home on Wilson Street, that's off Hay Street, and recovered the victim's property. A number of other electronic items and watches suspected to have been taken in other criminal incidents were also recovered. 3 men and a female were taken into custody and are assisting police with their investigation. Well, over in Abaco, police there were called to the SC Boodle High School shortly before 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, where a 17-year-old male student was found in possession of a quantity of suspected marijuana. He was arrested and later taken into custody. Now to news from the courts. Former Cabinet Minister Shane Gibson returned to court yesterday in connection with his bribery and extortion case. Gibson's lawyers are alleging that police coached witnesses. He appeared before Supreme Court Justice Indra Charles for a case management hearing on an application to stay the proceedings as an abuse of process and a constitutional motion. Gibson's trial was initially set for July 11th, but the date was vacated after Chief Justice Stephen Isaacs died. Justice Charles will hold another hearing on November 2nd, and a trial date has been set for November 30th. Well, still ahead, we've got details on the latest road paving exercise here in New Providence. That story and more when First at 6 returns on the next side of the break.
You can count on me. Just call me and I'll come running. No matter the
I got into comedy from the day I was born, and I look up and I saw who my parents was. I know my life is gonna be interesting.
give it to you in
The Bahamian people inspire me, like 100%.
I think the keys of the success to the band Visage has been the ability to stay relevant for the many years that the band has been around.
Technology, it keeps me connected.
What technology have done for me is priceless.
I don't know how I would be able to survive without it.
If I would describe BTC into one word, I would say innovative.
Family, family all around.
Communications lifeblood of the Bahamas.
Deciding on which car to buy? Hard. Getting an auto loan? Easy. Negotiating the price? Hard. Getting the money to pay for it? Easy. Get an easy auto loan from Commonwealth Bank. Super low rates, fast 24-hour approval, no loan fee, and no payments for 2 months. So come to Commonwealth Bank, and your next car is easy. Call today.
This portion of the news brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, your leader in personal banking.
Thanks so much for staying with us. We begin this segment with business news. Royal Fidelity introduced its new Global Invest program designed to make it easier for its clients to invest in the global market. The event also had speakers addressing regional debt offering and global equity. Company President Michael Anderson says the investment management service will simplify the application process and introduce clients to more investment options.
And that is really a product which we hope will help Bahamians to enter into the international investment market with some level of comfort, where we can help them manage it, we introduce them through our broker relationships to particular products that they otherwise would not be able to get access to, and we help them manage their portfolio. So this will help them diversify out of the strictly a Bahamian portfolio into international securities, hopefully with some comfort. I think everybody kind of assesses risk outside of here to be a lot higher, and it's not necessarily the case, but if you don't know something, I think everybody has that perception,
Well, Royal Fidelity introduced a new program in the wake of changes at the central bank.
So at the beginning of this year, it dropped to 5%. And I think 5% certainly makes it more accessible to Bahamian investors. And I think you can rationalize why, maybe if you look at 5 years, while 1% a year might be worthwhile paying to get access to diversification in other markets. Ideally for us, we're just trying to help our clients create and manage wealth. Okay, that is our mission. And, whether we can get corner involved in terms of helping people trade, whether people bring those investments and allow us to help them manage them and so on. I think all of those would be helpful. I think any chance people get to diversify out of what we consider to be a relatively small market here, I think is a good chance.
The Ministry of Financial Services and Trade, in conjunction with officials at the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Employers Confederation, participated in the Harvard program in an effort to hear from Harvard trade economists and policy experts about important trade topics and engage the trade policy professionals from around the world. This trade policy executive program offered a practical approach that emphasizes the core competencies of successful practitioners, as well as the latest political and policy developments in the field. The program contemplated the future role and value of the World Trade Organization and discussed current issues to include technological frontiers in intellectual property rights, biotechnology, and genetically modified organisms. Also making national news first at 6, the Junior Local Government Program has moved further south after being introduced on the island of Mayaguana last week. National Coordinator for the program, LaShanta Fowler Greenslade, and Assistant Coordinator, Latoya Jones, held a one-day symposium and introduced Junior Local Government to students of the Abrahams Bay High School. They also mounted a seminar for government employees in the Department of Local Government and hosted sessions on ethics in government and performance appraisals. Both officials say the events were successful, while acting principal of Abrahams Bay High School, Yoshan Gibson, says she's pleased the program now has a presence in Mayaguana.
I felt that the seminar went well, also the implementation of the program, and I'm expecting great things from the island of Meguana.
I really think it was extremely productive, very necessary, and much needed. And everybody was so open to the program, so it made our job a little bit easier.
The implementation of this program on the Great Abrahams Bay High School's campus, I believe that it's going to empower students. I believe that we will have quality leaders for the future of the islands of Meguana. I believe that students will learn more about service instead of just being about themselves. Let's get these kids from in front of the video games, in front of the computers, and let's get them more involved.
Well, some of the students we spoke with say they're eager to have the program in the school and they're looking forward to its impact.
This program, the LGJC, has finally been initiated at our school, and we are very excited to have it.
I like the local government junior program because I think it's gonna better the community, better the school, and the island.
I am very excited for the program to be on this campus. I'm familiar with this type of stuff. My father was the former chief counselor, and I believe in giving back to the community and to the school, and this program makes it possible.
Police traffic officials continuing their effort to educate motorists on proper road usage, particularly as it relates to merging, whether at intersections or roundabouts. It's an issue Sergeant Crestania Johnson of the Police Traffic Division says more motorists need to pay attention to.
The merge takes us or lets us know that the road layout ahead is about to change. So in that case, then, persons are now to prepare themselves. So if you're now traveling in a double lane and you're about to come into that bottleneck, you're now going, persons on the merge lane, you're going to see the street markings and street signs that indicate that you now have to stop and enter the next lane. So what this does now is cause persons to slow down. And what we tend to do, we tend to bully the other drivers. Instead of now waiting and ascertaining our way clear as we should, using our rear view mirrors and sometimes horns so to let the next driver know what it is you intend to do, we instead push the vehicles, we go drive ahead in front of the next vehicle. This right here, this is what caused a lot of accidents, a lot of fender benders, and we wanted to discourage that act.
While fines can be applied to those that break the law, Sergeant Johnson is hopeful more motorists are more courteous to other drivers.
I talked about the accidents that persons usually get involved in as it pertains to them entering these lanes without ascertaining their way clear. In that case, you're driving without due care and attention or without reasonable consideration, and that's a fine of $150. So fines in that area, they stem from $100 to $150, depending on what the matter is. If you're entering this person's lanes, if you're obstructing the flow of traffic, or whatever it is that you're doing in that particular area that you're not supposed to be doing.
Well, road users here in Eastern New Providence will have to endure some delays in their daily commute for the next month as Ministry of Works officials engage in a road paving exercise. Assistant Engineer Bahia Hepburn says they will be removing old asphalt and repaving.
Burnett Road, from the Fox Hill Road roundabout all the way down to the Village Road roundabout. We're going to be going in 8 sections. We're going to start again at the roundabout, then go to Ramming Street, Coburn Street, Grant Street, Adderley Street, Windsor Street, Hillside Park Road by Kingsway and Thompson Street, and then finally to Village Road. The works are going to be conducted between the hours of 9:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. to ensure that we stay out of school hours. On top of that, we're going to be doing single lane traffic management, and some, there will be some full road closures, but when they are, we're going to have diversions throughout Fox Hill. So just please bear with us, and it'll be and we will ensure that we will finish as soon as possible.
She also said the work is being carried out in conjunction with the Utilities Coordination Committee to ensure it's completed as quickly as possible.
They ensured that before we started paving, the advanced underground works for the electrical, water, and telecommunications were completed. The Ministry of Public Works, we are committed to public safety, especially when it comes to the roads. And so we ask again to just slow down we would ask and obey the signs. And one last thing, which is that if there are any road complaints, you can call them into our hotline. You can call in at 302-9700, or you can send a WhatsApp message with details like pictures, location tags at 376-0936.
Well, that does it for National News First at 6. Stay with us. Sports is next with Jonathan Benson.
That portion of the news was brought to you by Commonwealth Bank, the leader in personal banking services.
When Reggie heard about the new KFC Value Bucket with yesterday's classics, he said, I'm going to groove an Afro hairstyle, get dressed up, get the car, grab my girl, and remember those good old days. And so he did. Here, got dressed, the car, and his girl. Reggie realized that everything has changed except the irresistible taste of KFC. Enjoy a meal of the chicken you love for only $20. The new Value Bucket at KFC Nassau. It's finger-licking good.
Casablanca. Come into our showroom today and check out our sleek new line of Casablanca all-white, modern, stylish cabinets for your kitchen. And all during the month of September, get 20% off Casablanca all-white kitchen cabinets with soft closing drawers and doors. Available only at Connet Nassau and Abaco locations. For more information, call 394-5865. Casablanca.
No matter what your goals are in life, you have to start somewhere. It all begins with Leno. Leno, bridging possibilities. Call us at 396-3225 or email info@lenobahamas.com.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The New Providence Softball Association's Best of 7 Championship Series continuing last night. The man took to the field first as the defending champion CNS Hitmen tried to go up 2-0 on the Commando Security Truckers. A pitcher's duel ensuing early on between Alcott Forbes and Thomas Davis. Still scoreless midway through, this soft liner would drop, and the Truckers get on the board first. Score remains 1-0 head to the top of the 6th. Hitman would load the bases. Jose Hilton takes one for the team, and the score is tied. In the bottom of the frame, 1 on for Davis, and he takes this one over the left field fence. Truckers retake the lead, 3-1. Last chance now for the Hitman in the top of the 7th. They load the bases once again. Truckers make a pitching change going to Eugene Pratt. No hit by pitch here, but Forbes still draws the walk. Rashad Seymour comes home, and the Hitman now within 1. Marty Burrows up next. He walks as well, and this game is tied. Angelo Dillett now steps up, and this grounder scores a run. Hitmen have their first lead. In the bottom of the frame, Forbes gets a little wild. Dillett tries to throw the ball back to the plate. Forbes not ready, and that allows the tying run to score. With runners on second and third, no out, all Pratt needs is a fly out, but he delivers a base hit to help his own cause. Truckers walk it off, winning 5-4.
It's all about who wanted it more. You know, the game is all about hit, runs, and errors. Fortunately, you know, basically like basketball, it bounced our way tonight.
I guess we gave the fans a treat, and that's what you want to look at it. Yeah, it was a tough game. No one's going to give anything to you. You know, that's a good example of what a championship game probably should look like. We had some opportunities that we didn't capitalize on early in the game, so it probably would have made a difference later, but it is what it is.
Like their counterparts on the men's side, the Johnson Lady Truckers trying to follow suit in the feature game, and they did just that. They too were able to even up their best of 7 at 1-all with the defending champion Sunshine Auto Wildcats thanks to a 6-2 Game 2 victory. Game 3 in both series scheduled to be back on the diamond again tomorrow night. Shawnee Miller-Weibo's whirlwind tour making its way to the inner city yesterday. She joined up with Stephen Gardner, and they had some special treats in store, which included a race to remember for the youth of the area. Wilton Johnson has a special connection to the Miller family. He spoke about how the idea first came about.
This event was planned by Shawnee's father. We grew up together in Angleton, and he told me that she wanted to come in the area where the less fortunate is. You know, it inspired them to, to use sports, track and field, whatever sports, basketball as a way of avenue of achieving a scholarship to better themselves. And so we choose Kentwood today, and then we're going to go in the Ida Street, Angleton area where we grew up, and then of course tomorrow in the Mason Addition area. We just want to take them to those areas so they can inspire the kids to know that if she could do it, they could do it too.
Following yesterday's inner-city visit, Shawnee in the House of Assembly this morning, she was welcomed by Sports Minister, the Honourable Lanisha Rolle.
We are proud, Mr. Speaker, of her as a daughter of the soil. And as a Bahamian, as for me and the women of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, I and we are certainly proud of her accomplishment as a young woman.
Joining Shawnee in the lower chamber this morning was former Jamaican sprinter Asafa Powell. While he may have been the fastest man on earth at one time, our sports team was able to slow down the former world record holder, who's in town to visit with his good friend, Levan Superman Sands.
Last month, I sent him a message and said, hey, I plan to spend my vacation in Bahamas. You have any ideas? And he was like, yo, Safa, I got you. I'll set up everything for you. So, that's all I said, and I'm here, and hopefully I'll have a great time. But, so he's a good guy. I've known him pretty much all my track career. It's a very long, long career. So, really appreciate what, he has done for the sport, and, helping me to spend this vacation, in the best way possible.
2 matches on court tonight in the Providence Volleyball Association at the Donald Davis Gym. The Johnson Truckers opening up against the Lady Techs. That's followed by men's play between the Technicians and the Basement. The Government League basketball season also has doubleheader action tonight at the AF Adelaide Gym. The Sidebots playing in the opener against the Real Deal Rangers. As for the feature game, the 8th and final spot in the playoffs on the line between the Police Crime Stoppers and Defence Force Patrollers. The winner makes the postseason, the loser watching from the sidelines. Imagine being an aspiring basketball player in your prime, and then in the blink of an eye, you're in for the fight of your life. Sounds like a nightmare, right? But for one Bahamian, that became a reality. It was back in May 9th, 2014 that changed Clarence Butler's life forever. Home from college on a break, he was involved in a traffic accident.
It's basically, they had really not much hope for me because I had spine injury and a neck injury. I have pins inside my neck and 2 metal rods in my spine that hold it together. My spine shifted 40 degrees, and it was Dr. Valentine Grimes and Dr. Chambers that did my surgery, my operation. For 6 months, I was in the hospital. I had no memory. I had no memory of the accident. I don't even remember me being inside the hospital. So, but I thank God for being alive and here right now. I would not let it keep me down. I gotta continue to push it. Gotta continue to push it because, and I learned in life, no one is out there actually giving any handouts. So you have to do what you have to do and get what you have to get.
That is your first look at sports. Don't go anywhere. First at 6 is back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
My first memory of music would have been a performance when everyone was singing the song. The song was drop down and come up slow, and everyone in the crowd was singing. I was amazed. I was in shock.
I did not always want to be a performer, you know. I actually wanted to be a doctor. And when I was on my way to med school, I had this called epiphany, and I went to Berklee College of Music, and that's when I made the switch.
If I weren't singing, I'd be singing. I love track and field.
Many different things inspire me. You know, it isn't anything specific. It's just, you know, just enjoying the environment. And that's what I think music should be about, being free.
You know, tap of a button, I'm able to get in contact with persons all the way across the world. Technology acts as that bridge that keeps me connected.
BTC in one word, I would have to say clutch.
Connected. Family.
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 Every day, every day, every day.
Time now for weather.
In our first look at weather, we have a mid-level trough over the southeast Bahamas, coupled with a surface trough in the northwest. Both systems continue to support pockets of showers and thunderstorms. Heavy at times today. We registered some 1.1 inches of rainfall at LPIA, and there's more rainfall in the forecast. Outside of our studios, we had some recent thunderstorms. Temperature 81 degrees here. Relative humidity quite rich at 78%. South-southeast winds at 13 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure 1,014.3 millibars. That's 29.96 inches, and it is rising. That's going to do it for your first look at weather at 6. Stay tuned. More weather is still to come.
Thanks so much, Basil. That does it for First at 6. It's time now for a check on stories making news around the northern Bahamas.
Tabled in Parliament for the purchase of the Grand Lucayan Resort. The DNA weighing in on that sale. And living with mental illness. We will explain.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Good evening, all. I'm Shashina Roll-Parkinson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, the House of Assembly resumed today following the summer break. The highly anticipated resolution for the purchase of the Grand Lucayan Resort was tabled by Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable K. Peter Turnquest. The government purchased the beachfront property for $65 million from Hutchison Lucaya Limited. Turnquest outlines how the funds will be paid.
A deposit of $10 million, which was due and paid upon execution of the SPA. B, an additional sum of $20 million, which was due and paid upon the completion date, as such term is defined in the SPA. And C, the balance of the purchase price in the sum of $35 million, the loan, to be secured by first demand legal mortgage over the properties, the mortgage, payable by 7 tranches of bonds of $5 million, each issued by the purchaser in favor of the vendors, with interest thereon payable quarterly at the rate of 4% per annum, and with each tranche maturing in consecutive 6-month periods after the completion date, with the first tranche maturing on the expiry of 6 months after the completion date, and guaranteed by the government.
Now, the DPM says the government's commitment to purchasing the island's anchor property is significant to the revitalization of Grand Bahama's economy.
There is no doubt that the Grand Lucayan is a significant factor in the future of the economy of Grand Bahama. Despite, or notwithstanding its 450 employees attached to that property There are a number of ancillary small and medium-sized businesses, individuals who derive their economic livelihood as a result of that property.
Now, opposition leader Philip Davis objecting to the adjournment, noting that while members were given a copy of the resolution, a copy of the sales agreement was not attached. The House was adjourned until Thursday morning at 10 a.m., at which time debate on the Grand Lucayan resolution is expected to begin. The executives of both unions representing line staff and management at the Grand Lucayan Hotel were present at today's sitting of the House of Assembly. Well, the Democratic National Alliance is giving its take on the government's purchase of the property. Tonight, the deputy leader shares why they do not fully support this move.
What is the plan for this property?
Deputy Leader of the Democratic National Alliance, Orinthia Komalofi, says that they are not in full support of the government's decision to purchase the Grand Lucayan Hotel. She says while the social and economic state of Grand Bahama is taken into consideration, she says many things about this sale has left them with more questions than answers.
There's this mixed message where you say on the one hand that we have a fiscally strapped house, but then at the same time you are putting aside and allocating for up to $65 million to purchase a property when you only allocated $25 million in this past national budget that went. And so we're confused, as I'm sure all of the Bahamian people are confused, that you're speaking with two mouths, you're speaking with two tongues. On the one hand, you're saying we don't have the funds and we've cut areas like social services. We've cut the Ministry of Education. We've made some cuts in these in health care. We have cuts there, but at the same time, we're putting funds toward the purchase of this property.
She says it is imperative that a proper plan is in place as well as an exit strategy.
The history of the government of the Bahamas in managing hotel properties has not been a very good one. And it's almost like a black hole where you're just putting funds in there. And, you know, if you say to the Bahamian people, I'm going to increase your taxes, particularly in value-added tax, 60% in one shot, and they've only been in office for 1 year, and then you go and you put these funds to the purchase of this hotel, which you may sell at a loss, because it's not your funds. It's the funds of the taxpayers of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
The deputy leader adds that while the government may feel like it is between a rock and a hard place due to Grand Bahama's ailing economy, they are demanding transparency throughout the process.
We do appreciate the fact that things are dire here in Grand Bahama. We know that the unemployment rate is in excess of 12%, which is very high. In fact, it's higher than the national average. It's the highest unemployment rate in the country. So we understand the urgency of the matter, but we also feel that when we're going into decisions like this is going to have an impact on the public treasury, it's going to have an impact on the consolidated fund, it's going to have an impact on the purses and the pockets of Bahamians, that it is incumbent upon the government to give us the requisite information that we need in order to make a determination going forward.
In other news, it was during the national budget debate earlier this year that the government of the Bahamas promised free education at the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute to all interested Bahamians. That is now reality, and officials at the Northern Campus say residents are taking full advantage. Megan Shepard has the details.
Associate Vice President of the Grand Bahama Campus, Veronica Colley, says that since the implementation of free education, BTVI has seen about a 70% increase in enrollment for the fall semester. She says that Grand Bahamians have taken full advantage of this initiative.
The significant part of it is that in the information technology area, we can safely say that we saw a 100% enrollment since last enrollment in fall of 2017. Right? We've also added a few programs. Information technology, this is the first time we've been able to actually accept new students into the program without the students having to register in a blended environment through our online program with Nassau campus. We're able to have the students registered through the instructors here at the Freeport campus.
While a lack of funding may have been an obstacle to some in the past, Colley says that this new move by the government eliminates that concern.
Many persons, because of financial situations, couldn't actually attend. So when they saw this opportunity for the free education, they literally took advantage. From the day it was announced, we had applications coming in. So it says to us that they are interested, we are interested in Grand Bahama, and if we are given a little boost, there are some things that we can do.
Now, not only is tuition free for all courses offered at the Institute, but so is associated certifications. Colley says that she commends the government for this all-encompassing scholarship initiative.
They're also taking care of books or whatever other charges. You have the certification that they have to do sometimes, well, especially in the construction trades. They have to do this OSHA certification. All students must do that in order to work in the labs. And it's taking care of certifications also related to IT. So basically, it's not just a scholarship for tuition. It takes care of them overall in their program.
In order to qualify, Colley says you must be enrolled as a full-time student.
The students should be enrolled in 12 or more credits or 4 courses at the Institute here in order to be qualified or in order to qualify for the free education at BTVI.
Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Switching gears now, the Freeport Container Port welcoming the largest vessel to date. The MSC Shreya B called at the port recently, opening the door to a new scale of business. The vessel was able to call at the port due to the capacity of the high-tech remote-controlled cranes to accommodate the world's largest vessels. This mega vessel coming just weeks after the transshipment terminal received 3 new state-of-the-art remote cranes. These larger cranes have not only introduced the latest in crane technology to the port, but have also expanded its capacity to accommodate larger vessels with more capacity. Now, the new cranes replaced those that were destroyed during Hurricane Matthew some 2 years ago. The Crime Beat, police on the island of Abaco recovering a firearm, ammunition, and dangerous drugs at a resort on that northern island. Reports are that officers were called to the resort and marina in Marsh Harbor around 2 p.m. yesterday, where they discovered a black .9mm pistol with 12 rounds of ammunition and a quantity of suspected marijuana. Meantime, police in Abaco also arresting a 17-year-old male student after he was found in possession of dangerous drugs. Police tell us that around 3 p.m. yesterday, officers were called to the SC Boodle High School, where the teenager was found in possession of a quantity of suspected marijuana. He was arrested, taken into police custody, and is expected to be arraigned sometime this week. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. Stay with us. There's more news right after the break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Dolly Madison, Freeport's original home center.
It's time to come on down. Now to the plant nursery at Dolly Madison. They're loaded with indoor and outdoor plants, fruit trees, landscaping plants, flowering plants, herbs, and more at the plant nursery at Dolly Madison. And if you need advice, the friendly, courteous staff at Dolly Madison is there to assist. And don't forget to pick up your soil, fertilizers, and other accessories. Don't wait. Come on down. When you're eating on a budget, it's
KFC's Genius Menu. A one-piece leg, a wing meal, fries, a biscuit, and a 16-ounce drink for $4.99. A two-piece thigh and leg meal, one biscuit, and a 16-ounce drink for $5.99. And KFC's Mini Famous Bowl, leg or wing, and a 16-ounce drink for $4.68.
Available only on
KFC's Genius Menu at all KFC restaurants in Freeport.
Genius.
Hi, I'm Wes. I like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I would like to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Let us put shoes on your feet.
Hello everyone, I'm Joan Davis-Roll, host of Phenomenal, and I'm excited. It's the 7th edition of Phenomenal, and I want to invite you to join me as we highlight 7 phenomenal people. Phenomenal 7th edition will shine the spotlight on a Bahamian couple. 2 living miracles, their story is truly phenomenal. Not one, but two phenomenal professionals on Grand Bahama getting national acclaim. During our Phenomenal Health and Wellness segment, a young man's weight loss journey. Hear from his fitness trainer and his phenomenal transformation. And finally, a phenomenal leader with a phenomenal word. Join me for the 7th edition of Phenomenal this Friday at 8 p.m. on the ZNS Television Network.
Stay informed on your local weather forecast this 2018 hurricane season. Your #1 news station, the ZNS Television Network. We've got you covered. Covering the Northern Bahamas, you're watching the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. Mental health is generally a taboo subject, and those who suffer from mental illness do so in silence for fear of shame, rejection, or the stigmas attached to this very serious condition. Tonight, in the first of a 3-part series, we will hear from a woman who has suffered from anxiety and depression for over 2 years. She's telling her story and telling us why it is time to break the silence. She's a beautiful mother of 3, a wife to a well-known businessman, an author, as well as a business owner. But 2.5 years ago, Krishna Bo says her life changed.
To tell people I've buried my mother, I buried my father. I've been in the delivery room 3 times with natural childbirth, and this is still the most horrible experience I've ever had in my life. I know it may sound overly dramatic to those of you who do not understand the demon that it is, but it was kind of surprising to me, and because I'd never experienced anything like it before, I was not really in close contact with any persons that would have experienced it.
Bo says just before the first onset of anxiety and depression, she experienced some stomach pains and spent thousands of dollars to many doctors. She believes that this may have triggered the beginning of a mental illness.
You know, basically, after I started to get better physically, when I experienced that illness that I spoke about, I started to get worse mentally. And, you know, I really did not know what was going on. My family didn't know what was going on, because all of a sudden, I was just afraid of everything. That's how it started for me. I was afraid of everything. I was afraid of dying. I was afraid of getting ill. It got so debilitating at one point that I could not drive my vehicle. And it was really, really bad. And at first, I didn't know what was going on with me.
She then called a friend who has a degree in psychology, who informed her that she may be suffering from anxiety or depression. Bo says living with this illness is not easy, but she credits her faith in God, her husband, her children, friends, and support system for helping her to get through.
I thank God that I am a believer, because I believe that ultimately that is what got me through and continues to get me through, because it's not easy. And, you know, I had a few sisters at my church recognize that I was in a real bad place. And one sister in particular came to my door every day for, I think, about at least 6 weeks. Every single day, just to get me through my days.
She is advising residents who may be suffering from any type of mental illness to seek help, adding that they cannot do it alone. Bo says despite the helplessness and frustration one may feel on a daily basis, it is imperative to take it one day at a time.
My days comprise of, I'm in survival mode, and I'm still in that survival mode. And when I say that, that's not a good thing that's not a good way to be. But that's you get to a point where you just have to survive your days. It's not about even living, it's about getting through the day. So our whole way of living has changed in the last 2.5 years. If you've not gone through it before, you don't know a lot of this stuff. You don't know that, you know what? If you're going through depression, you need to stay away from negative people. It sounds like a little thing, but you need to stay away from negative people, because they could really, really hurt you, and they can cause your condition to worsen.
She adds that the time has come to break the silence on mental illness. And the only way those suffering from this illness can do that is by seeing a doctor, their faith system, and finding a strong support team. Switching gears now, a major book drive is underway on Grand Bahama. Minister Whitney Bain is collecting books for the people of Africa in the parking lot of the Tree Root Plaza. He says while on a mission trip to Liberia, the residents told him that they would like to have books to educate themselves. He says so far he has a trailer filled with over 100 boxes of books.
The initiative started on Friday, September 14th, and it's going to continue until the 22nd of September, Saturday. And then on Monday, the 24th, customs will come, inspect the container, and they'll close it up, seal it, and then I'll have to, pay for having the item shipped off. The community has been exceptional so far.
Now, Bain says more books are needed, as well as old computers, clothes, and shoes, as well as financial donations to assist with shipping the container to Liberia.
I think it's important to help others because we have often found ourselves in need as well and have been looking for others to support us. And other persons have come from near and far sending support and aid our way. I think it's only fair to reach out to others when we are aware of their needs. We can reach out to them and meet those needs. And so the seeds that we're sowing in Liberia and afterwards Sierra Leone, those seeds will come back to us. We may not see the fruit of it right now, but it'll come back to us in other ways. I think it's more blessed to give than to receive.
Now, for more information, you can contact Minister Whitney Bain at 458-0675. And now it is time to ask the doctor.
And welcome. Peggy from Freeport asked this question. I eat a lot of blueberries in my fruit salad and in my oatmeal because I heard it's good for your heart. Is this true? Thanks for your question. The short answer is yes. Berries have been shown in clinical and epidemiological studies to be good for heart health. In general, fruits and vegetables are high in antioxidants, but berries in particular have a high level of antioxidants called flavonoids, which researchers have shown possibly improves circulation through blood vessels, prevents plaque buildup in arteries, and promotes healthy blood pressure. There are 6 berries that researchers believe, if consumed a few times a week, can have great health benefits, like lowering your risk for a heart attack and cardiovascular disease. These are strawberries, blueberries, acai berries, raspberries, blackberries, and cranberries. Berries are not only colorful and tasty, they're also low in calories and a great source of fiber, folic acid, calcium, and vitamin C. So consider starting your day with adding a few berries to your oatmeal, yogurt, or a smoothie. I'm Dr. Monique Pratt, and this has been Ask the Doctor.
Don't go away. A check on sports is up next with Romiko Knowles.
More Makeup by Megan Coakley. When you want to look like a star. Phone 443-7979.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You did the graphic?
For family. Any family. There's nothing more important than a home. Becoming a landowner, you're now one step closer to those dreams coming true. Land opportunities with funding solutions by DEVCO. Developing and expanding the vision by creating ownership for you. Whether you're a first-time buyer or an experienced developer, you can buy now. DEVCO, where opportunities embrace ownership.
I'm Hugh Ferguson from Budget Pest Control. After 30 years in this industry, testing hundreds of pest control products, none has impressed me more than Vape. Vape 90-Day Mosquito Destroyer, Vape Aerosol, and Vape Mosquito Port. Vape is the only spray that you will find in my house and my mother's house, and it should be the only one in yours. In pest control, there are only 2 names to remember, Vape and Budget Pest Control.
The last time we won the Super Bowl, we had the biggest motorcade in Grand Bahama.
Who do you think can be a stumbling block in you guys' way in order to get to the Super Bowl?
New England. New England's going to be a stumbling block.
Well, I know there's stumbling block. If that's who could be in your way, that's a big block.
I hate
Atlanta to lose and the Dolphins to win. It makes it difficult to go to work on a Monday morning.
I mean, we had everything, all the pieces, but we couldn't win the Super Bowl. More people know me as Mr. Dolphin than know my real name.
Welcome to another edition of Sports. I'm Ramiko Knowles. First up in sports, a two-day baseball clinic happening at the Emera Baseball Park for aspiring baseball players on the island. Scores of young men attending this clinic to learn as much as they could from professional baseball player Chavez Young. The 39th round draft pick in the minor league baseball 2016 draft was awarded to Bahamian baseball player Chavez Young. The right fielder was picked up by the Toronto Blue Jays organization and currently plays for the affiliate Lansing Lugnuts. Young visiting his old stomping grounds, holding a two-day camp, giving back to the next generation.
I feel it's important because baseball's starting to grow a lot in the Bahamas, and a lot of kids them look up to me and other players in the Bahamas, and just me to show my face to them, my parents, it make them feel really good, and I just want to, make them happy and know them. I mean, you could do it, it's possible. You can make the big stage if you just keep on working hard.
Young says that his hope is to see the camp's participants applying what was taught and one day playing in the major leagues. He says that he wants them to believe and know that it is possible.
You could go over 5 one day, and then the next day you 5 for 5 with 2 doubles, 1 home run, That's how it is. And baseball, sometimes it makes you feel so happy, and then it makes you feel really bad because, there's ups and downs, but you always got to stay even keel no matter what.
12-year-old Kevin Edwards Jr. is a participant of the two-day clinic. Edwards Jr. says that his favorite team is the LA Dodgers and that he plans on playing shortstop for the Dodgers someday.
Because that's where most of the ball comes, and that's one of the biggest positions on the field because you have to take charge and become a leader. I want to get better at feeling ground ball, and instead of me feeling the ball at 3-4, I feel it at 1 and 2.
Now the future LA Dodger also gives advice to persons his age.
No matter your size, do what you want to do.
That's what I'm going to be teaching my son. Scores now from the 2018-2019 Grand Bahama Secondary Schools Athletic Association, or Renault's Volleyball League. In the Junior League girls action over at St. George's Gym, Sunland Baptist Academy outlasted Lucayan International, defeating them 17-9, 17-8 in 2 sets. In Game 2 of the Junior Girls 3 sets, St. George's High School defeated 8 Mile Rock Blue Jays 7-17, 17-4, and 15-12. Game 3 of the Senior Girls action went to 3 sets. St. George's top 8 Mile Rock Blue Jays 8-17, 17-12, 15-12. Game 4 saw Sunland Baptist Academy and Lucayan International. The Stingers took that in 2 sets, 17-11, 17-9. In the Junior Girls, Sister Mary Patricia taking Jackie with Junior High in 2 sets, 17-9, 17-4. BMES took Tabernacle 17-2, 17-13. Over on the golf course now, the Rubio Walkers on the links Monday with the Marcus Hill shooting a 1 over par 37. Hanford Bain was 1 shot back at 38. Mark Knowles with a 43 and 3rd place. Hanford Bain still leads the competition with 63 points. Fenton Skilled Russell with 53 points. Marcus Hill with 48 points. Greg Bowe 29 points. And Mark Knowles 28 points. And that's what's making sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Ramiko Knowles. Until next time, make it a great one.
This month alone, I reduced my power bill by over $300 by purchasing a solar system from Northern Bahamas Utility Company. My power bill is now $16. Can you believe it?
Here's another reason why owning a solar system from Northern Bahamas Utilities is right for you. Stop by today at number 8 Oak Street or call us at 225-0766 extension 106 and ask about our in-house financing or lease-to-own option. See you today.
Journey to a serene oasis. Relax. Rejuvenate. Renew. Welcome to Renew Day Spa. For appointments, call 352-RENU.
And it's special happy birthday goes out to Karen Wallace and Bristol. We hope you're having a great one. And that's going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shashina Wolf-Parkinson. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Resolution to buy. The government tabling a resolution to purchase a resort in Grand Bahama. Improved working conditions. Doctors and nurses concerned about their working conditions at the Princess Margaret Hospital. And marijuana experience. We've got a special report on marijuana and its impact on our country. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts right now.
This portion of the news is brought to you by BTC Every Day.
The government has taken the legislative step to ensure that the financial deal and remaining balance of payment is made for the Grand Lucayne Resort in Grand Bahama. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. Thanks for tuning in on this Wednesday. A resolution seeking to borrow $35 million to guarantee the loan to Lucayne Renewal Holdings Limited was tabled in the House of Assembly today. The hotel is being purchased at $65 million. A down payment of $10 million was made, followed by $20 million. Presenting the resolution to the House of Assembly was Minister of Finance, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, who said in the House today that it represents a strong indication of the government's commitment to the island of Grand Bahama.
That the health and strength of the Grand Bahama economy is vital to the overall growth of the economy of the Bahamas. As such, it would be irresponsible for any government to ignore the plight of that economy and its major economic drivers. There is no doubt that the Grand Lucayne is a significant factor in the future of the economy of Grand Bahama. Despite or notwithstanding its 450 employees.
Now, the resolution will be debated in Parliament this Thursday. The Minister of Finance, who is also the Member of Parliament for East Grand Bahama, indicated, though, that the Grand Lucayne Resort will eventually provide spin-off benefits for many Grand Bahama Island residents.
Attached to that property are a number of ancillary small and medium-sized businesses, individuals who derive their economic livelihood as a result of that property. Not only are we talking about the straw vendors across the street, the Lucayne Marketplace, not are we talking about the taxi drivers, the wood carvers and all of the artisans that practice from that place. We're not only talking about the cruise ships that arrive daily that provide guests and visitors to that property. Where we're talking about restaurants, we're talking about the average Grand Bahamian who depend upon this entity for economic activity.
Opposition leader, the Honorable Philip Davis, called for more transparency in the government's handling and purchase of the Grand Lucayne Resort. Mr. Davis called for all of the details and documents relating to the sale of the hotel be made available to the opposition before debate begins in Parliament.
No, but I will not be crippled by their conduct because we have a view on this matter. But we want to know, we need to make transparent what this deal is. Immediately we have seen something that's alarming about the deal. Like the covering of predetermined losses for an unspecified period in the arrangement and the deal.
Leader of Government Business in the House of Assembly, the Honorable Renward Wells, says debate will continue as planned tomorrow, despite calls from the opposition to have all of the documents in hand relating to the sale of the hotel before debate begins.
All of the issues regarding what we're seeking to do in purchasing the hotel is already there. The opposition said, we ain't going to debate unless you give us the sales agreement. But they know all of the issues that is contained within that sales agreement. Okay? And for us, it is just simply a delaying tactic. We understand that the Progressive Liberal Party will be going into their convention very soon, and so we understand this is statecraft. But at the end of the day, we're going to come back tomorrow, and we're going to debate the resolution. We're going to pass it. The government is on a timeline. We're going to purchase that hotel in the interest of the Bahamian people, in the interest of the people of Grand Bahama, and in the interest of the large economy.
The president and executives of the Commonwealth Union of Hotel Service Allied Workers applauding the step taken by government to purchase the Grand Lucane Resort. President Michelle Dorsett says the hotel will play a pivotal role in helping to boost the Grand Bahama economy.
Today is a special day, it's a historical day for the government to take heed, take their arm, because it's going to help the island, not just the hotel people, the island, the whole island. People need to be patient and take their time and understand what's going on today. Let the Prime Minister make his speech so they can understand what's going on, because we are deeply supportive of it, because we know about it. We lived it, we worked it, we could feel it. Moving forward in hospitality to bring back the locals back into the hotel, especially not just the tourists, but the locals. The locals actually is the beneficial to that island.
The Speaker of the House of Assembly delivered what could be termed as a state of parliament or the state of democracy in the Bahamas. He emphatically stated that the office of the Speaker is not independent and that Parliament and the Speaker of the House of Assembly must be given independence to bolster the impartiality and neutrality required. The House Speaker made this recommendation to Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Hubert Minnis regarding accountability.
In future appointments of members of the executive, please ensure that there are sufficient backbenches remaining so as to allow the Parliament to hold the government to account. With the exception of the House Rules and Business Committee, no member of the Cabinet should serve on any of the various parliamentary committees, and the Cabinet should divest itself of parliamentary functions, administrative or otherwise.
Still to come, we'll take a closer look at marijuana use here in the Bahamas. And we've got the latest on the MPSA playoffs. We're just getting started here on the National Report. We'll see you on the next side of the break.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the new Shell and Lettuce, designed for extra miles.
This is the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. This is Commonwealth Bank. And no matter how, no matter where, no matter what, Commonwealth Bank is here for you. Commonwealth Bank. Everything we do it for you.
My first memory of music would have been a performance when everyone was singing the song. The song was drop down and come up slow, and everyone in the crowd was singing. I was amazed. I was in shock.
I did not always want to be a performer, I actually wanted to be a doctor. And when I was on my way to med school, I had this called Epiphany, and I went to Berkeley College of Music, and that's when I made the switch.
If I weren't singing, I'd be singing. I love track and field.
Many different things inspire me. It isn't anything specific. It's just, just enjoying the environment. And that's what I think music should be about, being free.
Tap of a button, I'm able to get in contact with persons all the way across the world. Technology acts as that bridge that keeps me connected.
BTC in one word, I would have to say clutch.
Connected family.
Family.
Every day. When Reggie heard about the new KFC Value Bucket with yesterday's classics, he said, I'm going to groove an Afro hairstyle, get dressed up, get the car, grab my girl, and remember those good old days. And so he did. Here, got dressed, the car and his girl. Reggie realized that everything has changed except the irresistible taste of KFC. Enjoy a meal of the chicken you love for only $20. The new Value Bucket at KFC Nassau. It's finger-licking good.
Sean, what you doing home already? And why you can't do anything I ask you?
Calm down. Everything cool?
Everything always cool, but you're running me hard.
I already do everything on the list.
You pay the light bill and phone bill?
Check.
You get the Bahamas Air ticket for me and check the Sky Bahamas tickets for mommy?
Check.
I know you ain't send that MoneyGram to Junior.
I already do that too.
You sicky. You ain't never do everything I ask you.
I go on the Cash and Go and do everything right there.
You pick up dinner too?
Cash and Go don't sell chicken yet. Cash and Go, your one-stop shop for bill paying and so many other things.
Boy, I forget my wallet.
But you ain't never get no money, bro.
I got something better than that. Thanks. Now I can catch you next week. Again? Look. Tell you what, let me give you something to hold you over till next week.
That'll be $14. Third time this week.
Man, I got something better than money.
Click Pop the Top 30th anniversary. Celebrate responsibly. This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
In labor news tonight, doctors at the Princess Margaret Hospital held a demonstration today along with their union leaders. Crystal Darling has the story.
Doctors and nurses are very important people.
That's right.
You can't play around with them.
President of the Trade Union Congress, Obie Ferguson, speaking up for medical professionals as those doctors took to the pavement Wednesday morning in protest. They demonstrated in front of the critical care unit against current working conditions and pay. We talked to President of the Bahamas Doctors Union, Dr. Melisande Bassett.
Our plight has been going on for years. It is marginalized many of the doctors, forced them out of the country seeking jobs elsewhere because we're disrespected and we're not taken seriously. And we've been shackled by our oath to first do no harm and to protect our patients, which has prevented us from taking industrial action.
Bassett explains some core problems.
For doctors to be paid maternity benefits, which no employer, whether government or private, should be allowed to do. If a person has worked the required amount of years, by law, they're entitled to maternity benefits. For as far back as our records go, as the doctors' union, junior doctors have not been paid double time for working on holidays. In 2014, we made agreements with the Public Hospitals Authority. This has not been honored as yet. Further, we're asking that the government make sure that every physician has a clean, safe, and proper conditions under which to do calls.
President of the Nurses Union, Amantia Williams, says her members are in full support.
We stand 100% with the doctors. We cannot move without them. So today, we're saying to the government, we want it done today, not tomorrow. We want things to be done in a speedily manner. We are affected also. And so we're taking a stand because it is the health of the nation, is the wealth of the nation. Core health, core nation.
Meantime, the TUC president, Obie Ferguson, says the umbrella union is on guard to turn up the heat.
But let no one fool you. Wherever they want to go, we will go.
That's right, eh?
If they want to deal with it properly, we'll deal with it.
Right.
If they want to go to the courts, I guess you see the way I dress. We will go and get what is right for the working people of this country.
Crystal Darling, ZNS Network News.
Minister of Health, Dr. the Honorable Dwayne Sands, responding to those concerns by doctors today. One of them is the air conditioning system in the critical care block. He described it as a vexing problem, which they have been dealing with for many months. Dr. Sands says there has been a problem with the chiller system, and the team on the ground could not correct the problem. In light of this, he says they had to call in international experts to assist.
I'm happy to report that since the weekend, the temperature in the critical care block has been comfortably at 70 degrees, which is the ideal working condition, 69, 70 degrees. We do acknowledge, however, that there is a serious problem with the existing chillers that have lost their useful life, and the Public Hospital Authority and PMH is going to have to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars additionally for sensors and new chillers. We believe that we have enough capacity on stream now to allow us the time to order, import, and install the added equipment as well as the appropriate monitoring system.
Dr. Sands also spoke about licensing requirements and maternity benefits.
Every year, the license of a physician has to be renewed. But for those people going from intern to the next level, all considered to be provisional licensees, there's a requirement when you transition from intern to SHO that a certain application be filled out with references. The Bahamas Medical Council is entirely able to define what is an acceptable referee. The Public Hospital Authority is a part of the Ministry of Health, fully conforms to the laws of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. In addition, junior doctors have major medical insurance paid for and provided by the Public Hospital Authority. And so there may be some specific issues that the HDA wishes to see differently in terms of maternity benefits.
Now to news from the courts. Former Cabinet Minister Shane Gibson returned to court yesterday in connection with his bribery and extortion case. Gibson's lawyers are alleging that police coached witnesses. He appeared before Supreme Court Justice Indra Charles for a case management hearing on an application to stay the proceedings as an abusive process and a constitutional motion. Gibson's trial was initially set for July 11th, but the date was vacated after Chief Justice Stephen Isaacs died. Justice Charles will hold another hearing on November 2nd, and a trial date has been set for November 30th. Marijuana and the possibility of its legalization is a hot-button issue that has drawn intense reaction from those who favor of it and those who are fiercely against it. In the start of a three-part series, Cleopatra Murphy speaks with someone who was once intensely opposed, but has now had a change of heart.
It goes by many names: marijuana, Mary Jane, weed, and ganja, but its scientific name is cannabis. All the same, it is illegal in the Bahamas. However, when one man's mother was diagnosed with cancer and he saw her immense suffering, he was willing to take a risk. Initially diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer, she had a mastectomy and began chemotherapy. Once 210 pounds, her weight dropped to 160. She lost her hair and appetite, but went into remission. That was short-lived after she fell and broke her femur, and an X-ray revealed the cancer had returned, now in her bone marrow. There was nothing the doctors could do, and with another round of chemo, the weight loss continued. A Jamaican patient care technician had an idea, and although reluctant, he agreed.
The next morning, she came back with a thermos, and she put some honey in it, and a squeeze of lime, and half a cup of the thermos she gave to my mom. And within half an hour, my mother wanted something to eat. And she ate, I think, half a can of vegetable soup or something like that, which for her at that time was an amazing amount of food.
His mother in her late 70s began to regain weight. She endured chemo better after drinking the marijuana tea 3 times a day. He says that changed when she learned it was marijuana.
Because of the stigma attached to it, and because of the position that I hold in society, basically, where I work and so on and so forth, she wasn't even trying to hear me putting myself in a position to get locked up purchasing something that was helping her the way that it was. And she refused to drink any more tea. She asked me to fire the patient care technician. She wouldn't eat, she wouldn't drink anything from anybody except me or one of my siblings.
He says within 3 months, she was dead. That was 5 years ago. Brought to tears recalling it, he says while he is no doctor, he and his family knows what marijuana did for his mother.
To me, it is completely backwards for us to be prescribing chemo and you would get locked up for something, I mean, a herb that basically you don't need no pharmacy, no additional nothing to it that could help. I don't know. I can't say, well, mommy would have been alive today, but I know for a fact the way that she was progressing, she would have lived a couple of more years.
The former police officer, who was once vehemently opposed to the drug and had no issue arresting others, says he saw cancer and chemotherapy destroy his mother, while marijuana restored her. He is now a proponent of medical cannabis and wants the Bahamas to legalize it.
I don't know what our politicians are doing. Why is this even up for discussion? But I guess it's not until it hit home with one of them, they'll understand. And I hope to God they do not have to go through what me and my family endured watching our mother deteriorate before our eyes. She died weighing 112 pounds.
Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Crystal Darling. 7,355 people signed a petition that was part of a marine protection plan submitted to the government in an effort to expand marine protected areas in the Bahamas. The plan was presented by members of the Marine Protected Project Team, an organization that aims to protect future jobs, safeguard the environment, help protect food sources, and protect 20% of the country's seabed by the year 2020. Minister of Financial Services, Trade and Industry, the Honorable Brent Simonet, saying that the government will soon be ushering in a policy to give Bahamians the opportunity to invest in public assets. Simonet also supported the notion of financial institutions challenging the government by changing the rules because of the many restrictions so that it is easier for persons to do business in the country. Two of the world's biggest economic superpowers, the United States and China, continue in an escalating trade war. Both Washington and Beijing have recently released new tariffs on almost over $300 billion of goods. By September 24th, U.S. tariffs would have gone up by 25%, and China's new tariffs will be imposed at 5 or 10%. Additionally, with rising tensions between the two countries, economic analysts say that the trade war may intensify. That's your business news. I'm Crystal Darling.
We start with a yes, but when life takes unexpected turns, you can still say yes to more. The Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card gives you points with every purchase that you can use to travel anywhere. Fly on any airline, anywhere, and anytime, with no blackout dates. Plus, with just 20,000 Scotia points, you can say yes to destinations. With Scotiabank Aero Platinum MasterCard credit card, it's easier to say yes to everything. Apply today.
We are 700 Wines and Spirits, from Grand Bahama to San Salvador.
Just around the corner when you need us.
For every celebration and relaxation.
Committed to quality and service since 1953.
With renowned wines,
Rums and spirits.
We are 700 Wines and Spirits, always with ice cold beer.
and attractive promotions.
Here for you as we've always been. One name, one people, united in wines and spirits.
We are 700 Wines and Spirits.
If you own a portfolio of securities within a brokerage account, like stocks, bonds, or mutual funds, you can access a hassle-free loan, known as a margin loan, based on the value of that portfolio. Your investment portfolio is essentially used as collateral for a cash loan. And the benefits are numerous. Simple and straightforward application, quick turnaround, a more competitive interest rate, no requirement for monthly payments. Contact us for more information on margin loans.
We've all got plans for our golden years. Unfortunately for many, this may just be wishful thinking. To generate an annual income in retirement of $70,000 for 20 years at a rate of return of 5%, with inflation running at 3%, requires more than $1.1 million. So how do you save that much money? Many companies provide a group pension plan to help their employees by deducting an amount each month from their pay to contribute to the plan. Personal Pension Plan, or PPP, is similar to a group plan, but offered only to individuals. These plans offer many of the same benefits and features. Contact us for more information on pensions.
Clean clothes for the family, uniforms for the baby, suit for mommy and daddy. We
If you wanna look fly and you wanna look clean, if you wanna look fresh, better than all the rest. Bring on your church clothes and all your work clothes. Bring on your children's clothes. That's Super Wash.
Thanks so much for staying with us, especially those of you following us live on our social media platforms. The Bahamas Girl Guides Association continuing to hold fundraisers in order to build a new headquarters on West Bay Street. The association will hold a fair next week, Saturday, September 29th on Arawak Key. Joining us live to provide more details is Association President Dr. Ruth Sumner and Chief Commissioner Sonia Adderley. Good evening, ladies.
Good evening.
First of all, Mrs. Sumner, we'll start with you and tell us why you are encouraging residents to attend this year's fair.
Of course, the Bahamas Girl Guides Association is in the process of building a new headquarters. And as a result of that, we need $1.4 million to complete the project. We have been raising funds for quite a number of years now, and we have not reached the goal yet. But however, we are hoping that with the help of our friends in guiding, former guides, and the general public, that they will help us to meet our goal.
Now, Ms. Sumner, you told me earlier that this is the first fair the Guides Association has had in many years.
Yes.
Why are you going to encourage patrons to attend this year's fair?
Because this is one of our main fundraisers to assist with the construction of the headquarters. And so we are having I'm hoping to have a very good time, a very good turnout. We're having all the famous stalls that you can think of, the conch fritters, the home cookery, the bingo, even the bingo this year. And we're having other stalls at the Kiddies Corner. All the kinds of things that the kids would love will be there.
Now, Miss Adderley, we'll turn over to you. Guiding has been in existence for over 100 years. That's such a significant feat. Are more young girls interested in the program now?
Yes, we have a large group coming in, especially at the sunflower stage. And what we do is we try to keep them involved from sunflowers straight through to ranges. So we have the brownies after sunflowers, guides, and then the ranges. And we are so proud of ourselves as we worked all through last year's summer, our new program for the guide section, and it's up and ready to be go out, actually, because this is the beginning of our new guide year.
Now, you talked about those divisions. Explain which age group is targeted for Sunflower, Ranger, and Guide.
Okay, our Sunflower start, that's our babies in the yellow uniform. They start at the age of 5 to 6. Our brownies are from 7 to 10. Guides, and we all know the brownies, they wear that brown uniform. And our guides are the ones now in white, and they are from the age of 11 to 14. That is the age we're really concentrating on. Then we have our Rangers, which is up and coming. They go from the age of 15 to 18, and we want to increase it because we're realizing that our Rangers are not quite ready. Some of them are not ready to go into leadership position, so they want to remain with their pairs for now and, experience more about guiding.
Ladies, it's been 100 years, as I mentioned earlier, that guiding has been prevalent here in the Bahamas. How has guiding molded young women to be productive citizens of the Bahamas?
Well, I must say that when you go through the program, for years, they have looked at our organization as the housekeepers. But no, we have moved far from that. We trained our girls to be citizens of the world, not just of the country. We are an organization of the world, and we have sisters all around the world. So we train them in every area of life so that they can be productive citizens in any area that they choose to pursue as their course of study or employment.
Thank you so much, ladies. That's Ruth Sumner and Sonia Adderley of the Bahamas Girl Guides Association, encouraging you to attend the Girl Guides Fair, the first in several years, that will be held on Arawak Key next week, Saturday, September 29th. Thanks again, ladies, for joining us on the Bahamas tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well, stay tuned. There's much more to come. You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, your news leader.
Move forward, Bahamas, and build high into the sky.
Move upward and colorize those new walls. Move onward and build a garden to last a lifetime. Move together and settle into that new home. There's a lot of places you can do it for yourself, but there's one place to do it right. Builders Mall. We know exactly what motto you live by, and even the pros know building is just a part of what we do. So move forward, Bahamas. And remember, you can find it all at Builders Mall.
Free, reliable, anytime, anywhere, and instant. That's the benefits of using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Pay bills, check account balances, transfer funds, and more. Enjoy the freedom of banking on your own terms. Why wait in line? Save time. Do your banking using RBC's digital banking, ATM services, or mobile app. Visit rbc.com/Caribbean to find out more.
Performance speaks for itself. Pennzoil Synthetics, made from natural gas. Make the switch.
At Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center, we provide imaging services to meet all your family's needs. Same goes for imaging at Grosvenor. We're the imaging experts. We never schedule multiple appointments, so you'll be in and out in no time. And if your initial screening reveals a concern, our radiology specialist can consult your doctor and conduct an alternative screening right then and there. Results are ready within 24 hours. Call 328-8157 to schedule an appointment at Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center or Imaging at Grosvenor today.
Introducing the Subway Simple 6 menu. 6 of our best 6-inch subs, now and made just for you meals for just $7.50 every day. Take your pick from our best subs, like the Italian BMT, tender turkey breast, sweet onion chicken teriyaki, and more. Pile them high with all of your favorite veggies, made just the way you say. With a 21-ounce drink and a bag of chips. The new Simple 6 menu is value made simple every day. Yeah, you so got it made. Subway, eat fresh.
And that means it's time now for a check on the weather in your part of the Bahamas. Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us in studio with the latest temperatures. Good evening, Basil. I heard some thunder outside our studios earlier this evening. It means a lot of rain tonight?
Well, it was a pretty wet day at times today. We did get some sunshine in the early afternoon and another round of thunderstorms late this afternoon, and we'll tell you more about that later in the newscast, so stay tuned. But right now, going to take a look at temperatures around the Family of Islands, and they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We're protecting you. 85 degrees in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Grand Torquay at 85, Marsh Harbor 86 degrees, 85 in the Berry Islands, 84 in Alderstown, Bimini, Harbor Island 83, Rock, Sandy, Lutra 84, Alderstown, Cat Island, Stanley Key in the Exuma Chain, Kemps Bay, South Andros, Fresh Creek and Central Andros, all at 84 degrees. More 84s in San Salvador and Rum Key, also Georgetown, Exuma 84, Crooked Island, Clarencetown, Long Island, Betsy Bay, Magona, Acklands, Ragged Island, another round of 84s. We pick it up 83 degrees in Magic Town, Inagua, Turks and Caicos Islands at 83 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. For all areas tonight, light and variable winds with flat seas, but those seas will be locally higher in their showers and thunderstorms. Low tide takes place at 10:18 tonight. And then as we go into Thursday for the Northwestern Islands, light and variable winds once again with flat seas. Low tide 10:18 in the morning, high tide at 4:38 in the afternoon. For the Central and Southeastern Islands tomorrow, easterly winds 10 to 15 knots. Wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And on Friday for the Northwest and Central Islands, the winds will pick up just a bit. Easterly flow at 10 to 15 knots and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Your low tide, that will take place at 11:07 in the morning. High tide at 5:23 in the afternoon. And for the Southeast Bahamas on Friday, easterly winds 12 to 18 knots, wave height 3 to 6 feet with a margin chop. And that's going to do it for your boating forecast. It is time now for your travel forecast. And your travel forecast is brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. going to do it for your travel forecast, brought to you by Royal Star Shorts. But stay tuned, your extended weather forecast is coming up in about 20 minutes.
Welcome to Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Immunization or vaccination is the process in which a person's immune system becomes resistant to infectious disease, normally through the use of a vaccine. Immunization works by stimulating your body's natural resistance to disease. When germs enter the body, the immune system recognizes them as foreign substances or antigens. The immune system then produces the right antibodies to fight the antigens. Vaccines contain weakened or dead versions of the antigens that cause disease. This means that the antigens cannot produce the signs or symptoms of disease, but they do stimulate the immune system to create antibodies. These antibodies help protect you if you're exposed to the disease in the future. There are vaccines recommended for children and adults. The long-term goal of vaccines is to end the threat of some serious illnesses. Vaccines are generally quite safe. The protection provided by the vaccines far outweighs the very small risk of serious problems. Vaccines have made many serious childhood diseases rare today. Some vaccines may cause mild temporary side effects such as fever or soreness or a lump under the skin where the shot was given. Talk to your family doctor to find out if you or a loved one is due for any important immunizations. It's always better to prevent a disease than to treat it after it happens. This has been Tips for Wellness. I'm Dr. Indira Grimes. Live your best life by living well.
Whether it's for school lunch packs or football parties, Super Value and Quality Supermarkets has the specials you need this September, including Kellogg's Corn Flakes 24-ounce box, $3.99. Boneless chicken breast, $2.29 per pound. First Choice Sugar, 4-pound bag, $2.39. Hunt's Ketchup, 35-ounce bottle, $1.99. Cello Carrots, 5-pound size, $2.99. Pick Sweet Corn on the Cob, 8-count, or mixed vegetables, 16-ounce bag, $2.99. No matter the occasion, Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day.
I've had an amazing relationship with BTC as a small business. BTC gave me the opportunity to produce my first commercial in the Bahamas. BTC giving me my first opportunity to produce a commercial in the Bahamas, it led to so many other commercials, you know, most notably Bahamian, you know, Grammy Award-winning group. Most recently, a commercial for Domino's, which is really making a great buzz around even, you know, a PSA for the Bahamas National Trust, the Congon video. And all of these things, you know, all stem from doing work with BTC. It's amazing when big corporations like BTC give small businesses like me opportunities, because it gives us an opportunity to show that what we can do. And it really gives us the time to fly and showcase to the entire Bahamas that, you know, we could do it. You know, we could take on large projects. As a small business, my relationship with BTC has been amazing. And it was during the Olympics, the 2012 London Olympics, when our amazing Golden Knights, you know, when they did their thing. So I had an opportunity to create a commercial sort of around that, around them winning, you know, the Olympics, and also featuring Ariana Vanderpool and what she did. So that opportunity was amazing, because from that opportunity, it led to so many other opportunities in the Bahamas with commercials, music videos, and everything.
Every island and every key. Keep in touch with everybody. It's BTC every day. Every day, every day, every day. Every day is a new day.
Life happens. And when it does, FG Insurance Agents and Brokers is here. We help you protect the assets you've worked hard to attain. We offer home, auto, marine, commercial, and liability insurance. Don't hesitate to protect what matters with FG Insurance agents and brokers. Visit us and speak to your agent today. Or call us at 396-1490 in Nassau or 688-1500 in Freeport.
We are Machinery and Energy Limited, your cat dealer for the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and the Cayman Islands. We also carry a selection of allied brands like JLG, Wacker Neuson, and Solaire. Our extensive product line includes tractors, excavators, backhoe loaders, telehandlers, forklifts, light towers, aerial equipment, marine engines, and of course, our specialty cat generator sets. Need parts or equipment maintenance? We offer that too. Everything you need all in one place. Visit one of our branches in Nassau, Freeport, or Abaco for your construction and power generation needs.
You see me? I love online shopping, and when I heard of Welty.com, I said, wow, what do they have to offer?
Welty.com provides me with everything I need, like hair, perfumes, furniture for my mom, anything I can think of.
Visit Welty.com today for all your favorite products, like hair, clothes, fragrances, and furniture. You can see the overall cost, layaway, and pay the remaining balance later.
Huh? Welty.com? Duh.
Welty.com. Make life easy.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports, everybody. The New Providence Softball Association's Best of 7 Championship Series continuing last night. The men took to the field first as the defending champions CNS Hitmen tried to go up 2-0 on the Commando Security Truckers.
A pitcher's duel ensuing early on between Alcott Forbes and Thomas Davis. Still scoreless midway through, this soft liner would drop and the Truckers get on the board first. Score remains 1-0 headed to the top of the 6th. Hitmen would load the bases. Jose Hilton takes one for the team, and the score is tied. In the bottom of the frame, 1 on for Davis, and he takes this one over the left field fence. Truckers retake the lead, 3-1. Last chance now for the Hitmen in the top of the 7th. They load the bases once again. Truckers make a pitching change going to Eugene Pratt. No hit by pitch here, but Forbes still draws the walk. Rashad Seymour comes home, and the Hitmen now within 1. Marty Burrows up next. He walks as well, and this game is tied. Angelo Dillett now steps up, and this grounder scores a run. Hitmen have their first lead. In the bottom of the frame, Forbes gets a little wild. Dillett tries to throw the ball back to the plate. Forbes not ready, and that allows the tying run to score. With runners on second and third, no out, all Pratt needs is a fly out, but he delivers a base hit to help his own cause. Truckers walk it off, winning 5-4.
It's all about who wanted it more. You know, the game is all about hit, runs, and errors. Fortunately, you know, basically like basketball, the bounced our way tonight.
I guess we gave the fans a treat, and that's how we want to look at it. Yeah, it was a tough game. No one's going to give anything to you. You know, that's a good example of what a championship game probably should look like. We had some opportunities that we didn't capitalize on early in the game, so it probably would have made a difference later, but it is what it is.
When Thomas said that 2-run shot, did you guys think you had that one on the side of the bag?
Yeah, honestly, I felt like it was over at that point. You know, again, like the first game, a pitcher got in a little trouble, some walked in a couple runs. Yeah, but we were able to bounce back and win tonight.
We're a veteran team. We've been here before, but so going down late in the game, it's not gonna cause us to just roll over and play dead. We're gonna fight to the last at bat, and so it doesn't matter what the score is. We're gonna go all the way through.
Talk a little bit about that last inning. You guys, I guess, not even out there.
Yeah, that was all about trying to play some small ball after getting the 2 batters on. It was a fortunate one with me where he dropped the ball, but we had 2 successful bunts after that. And then after that, we just worried about Eugene poked one into left field, ended the game.
Again, some calls probably didn't go the way we wanted them to go, coupled with some other factors, and they ended up being what it was as far as put them in a better situation where they could win the game, and they were able to capitalize on it.
Talk a little bit about that pitching change there inside. Gene coming in fresh, and that was a really big position to put him in.
Yeah, well, that's we have basically 2 national team pitchers pitching against each other. Eugene, to me, is national team caliber. and I think he did well. He was a little shaky at first, but he came through at the end.
To me, it doesn't show a whole lot of confidence in the guy who started the game, because, I mean, to me, I don't think it was a smart move, considering the fact that he was doing his job pretty effectively. Maybe he didn't have the confidence in himself to continue. I know I wasn't going to come out of the game in that situation.
This was very important. You didn't want to go down 2-0. Now it's like a fresh start, so it's the best out of 5 series now. Hopefully we can get the next win on Thursday.
I guess that's a matter of opinion as far as momentum, because at the end of the day, it's just a new series. We're still a better team. We're still a team that has the experience. We've been here before, so we just got to get together, look at the things that we didn't do right, make the adjustments, and come back out.
Definitely think we got the momentum. We just got to, like I said, Thursday come out here, have a good start in the first inning, and see how it goes from there.
Like their counterparts on the men's side, the Johnson Lady Truckers trying to follow suit in the feature game, and they did just that. They too were able to even up their best of 7 at 1-all with the defending champion Sunshine Auto Wildcats, thanks to a 6-2 Game 2 victory. Game 3 in both series scheduled to be back on Diamond again tomorrow night. Shawnee Miller-Weibo's Whirlwind Tour making its way to the inner city yesterday. She joined up with Stephen Gardner, and they had some special treats in store, which included a race to remember, that is, for the youth of the area. Wilton Johnson has a special connection to the Miller family. He spoke about how the idea first came about.
This event was planned by Shawnee's father. We grew up together in Angleston, and he told me that she wanted to come in the area where the less fortunate is. You know, it inspired them to, you know, to use sports, track and field, whatever sports, basketball as a way of avenue of achieving a scholarship to better themselves. And so we chose Kentwood today, and then we're going to go in the Ida Street, Angleston area where we grew up, and then of course tomorrow in the Mason Addition area. We just want to take them to those areas so they can inspire the kids to know that if she could do it, they could do it too. It's because of Shawnee Miller and others, Stephen Gardner and others, who made it possible for people to hear about our small little dot here in the Caribbean. Shawnee signed some of her photos you know, she would have did in the race, and also some of the water bottles. That's to, you know, give them a little token of our love, to show them that, you know, she appreciate them coming out and seeing her. And no doubt, we hope that the token be a motivation for them to do well in their classwork, in their school, and also in the sporting areas of their lives.
Following yesterday's visit to the inner city, Shawnee in the House of Assembly this morning, she was joined by a couple of elite athletes, including former world record holder from Jamaica, Asafa Powell.
We are proud, Mr. Speaker, of her as a daughter of the soil. And as a Bahamian, as for me and the women of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, I and we are certainly proud of her accomplishment as a young woman. Asafa has and continues to represent his country with distinction. Asafa's presence today further demonstrates the global impact and respect Shawnee has attracted, and we are pleased that he has joined today's session in support of his athletic colleague, Shawnee.
Asafa Powell may have been the fastest man on earth at one time, but Charles Fisher put on his spikes and caught up with the former world record holder. He filed this report.
The former world record holder and one of the fastest men of all time in the 100 meters, Asafa Powell, slowing down a bit to enjoy some relaxation in the 242.
I'm on vacation, you know, I come here to enjoy myself. I mean, Bahamas is just, you know, just a walking distance away, and I've never been here to Nassau. So, you know, I decided to make this my vacation spot for this year. I'm a Caribbean fans, you know, the Bahamas. Definitely, people always tell me, why are you not in the Bahamas? Why are you not at the relays? You know, but I never get to really meet them, you know, and, you know, put on a show for them. But I know I have a very strong, you know, backing here.
This trip all came about due to his close relationship with the Superman, Levon Sands.
Last month, and I sent him a message and said, you know, hey, I plan to spend my vacation in Bahamas. You have any ideas? And he was like, yo, Safa, I got you. I'll set up everything for you. So, you know, that's all I said, and I'm here. You know, and hopefully I'll have a great time. But, you know, so he's a good guy. You know, I've known him pretty much all my track career. You know, it's a very long, long career. You know, so, you know, really appreciate what, you know, he has done for the sport, and, you know, helping me to spend this vacation, in the best way possible.
Their friendship goes back many years despite the two competing in different events.
Every time we see each other, we always communicate, we always sit down and just real talk, he's a great person and, like he said, he hit me up and asked me about coming down to the Bahamas, and I thought it was a perfect opportunity also for me, working along with the Marriott, with setting up the sports travel group thing. I would like this to be a place for athletes to come and stay when I possibly have my meet. I think he's going to have a great experience, and I'm glad that, they chose the Bahamas to visit.
He has competed just about everywhere in the world, but not in the Bahamas, something he hopes can happen before he hangs up the spikes.
I've always wanted to compete in the Bahamas, but, the injuries always kind of, they don't want me to compete here, so, we'll see, maybe, if I'm leaving, cook up something, track meet, I'll definitely come and show.
Much more from the Sprint King as he talks about his future in the sport. For ZNetTool Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
The Bahamas Cycling Federation holding elections recently. Roy Colebrook was returned as president.
Cycling calls for a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort to go into it. And being returned as president is the continuation of things that would have been left off in the last time, where we want to head now and getting our cyclists to different levels, up to world championships and everything else. I think it is important for persons to note that persons trying to hold these positions, I don't think in cycling right now you might be finding that many because of the workload that goes with it.
Imagine being an aspiring basketball player in your prime, and then in the blink of an eye, you're in the fight for your life. Sounds like a nightmare, right? But as Charles Fisher tells us, for one Bahamian, that became a reality.
It was May 9th, 2014 that changed the life of Clarence Butler forever. Home from college on a break, he was involved in a traffic accident.
Basically, they had really not much hope for me because I had spine injury and a neck injury. I have pins inside my neck and 2 metal rods in my spine that hold it together. My spine shifted 40 degrees, and it was Dr. Valentine Grimes and Dr. Chambers that did my surgery and my operation. For 6 months, I was in the hospital. I had no memory. I had no memory of the accident. I don't even remember me being inside the hospital. But I thank God for being alive and here right now.
His recovery is vigorous, just like the regimen when he was a Spouty athlete. For him, it's taking time and patience.
Slow, but it's coming along very strong. We're getting back there strong. Through God, nothing is impossible. So
earlier, where did you not have movements that it is now?
Well, I did not have any movements in my legs area. My leg was not able to fully extend all the way out, but now they're getting back there. I'm actually able to stand up now for a bit and start to make steps. I also attend PMH therapy center, and also I'm in the gym right now working out, lifting weights.
You seem to have a strong mind despite all this though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got to. Everything begins and ends with the mind. So once I have a strong mind and I put God first, everything else happens afterwards.
An avid sports fan, he still coaches basketball and will not let this one incident affect his life moving forward.
I would not let it keep me down. I got to continue to push it. Got to continue to push it because I learned in life no one is out there actually giving any handouts. So you have to do what you have to do and get what you have to get.
For ZNetTool Sports, I'm Charles Fisher.
Fluid for sports. Stay tuned. The Bahamas Tonight comes back after the break.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
We'll be with you through new beginnings and sunset endings, through toil and many tears, through the joys and many fears. For all of life's ever-changing moments, trust J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers for all of your insurance needs. J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
Whether you want to get going in a new car, to relax at home while you pay bills on your mobile banking app, to get the best rewards with your credit card, or to get a sure start on your little one's future. Whether you want a quick response on your loan, or just a range of services that keep your business running smoothly, you want banking that fits your life. CIBC First Caribbean. Banking that fits your life.
Good night, BTC family. It's Julian Believe, and we're back with another BTC Tech Tip.
Yeah, I got a call saying BTC is putting fiber in my neighborhood, but I don't even know what fiber is.
Fiber is the latest data transfer technology, providing high-speed internet connection at up to 1,000 megabits per second. With fiber to the home, customers can experience great bandwidth and reliability with their internet connection. And that bandwidth allows for services like smart home systems, Flow TV, and even home office internet.
How much will it cost to install?
Installing fiber has no cost to you if you're an existing BTC fixed line customer. However, if you are a brand new BTC customer, the installation cost is $150. And get this, having a fiber line connected to your home actually increases the value of your property.
Wow, now that makes it worth it.
And there you have another BTC Tech Tip. See you next time.
weather, sports, and entertainment. Wake up with the Morning Edition. Weekdays, 7 a.m., right here on the ZNS Television Network.
What amazing idea to go into the communities and into our world and into our country and into the homes of people and into the lives of outstanding and extraordinary people all over the country. I think that telling those stories, again, helps us to connect to the notion of, okay, how can I live a better life? How can I be better? This is how this person achieved it. Where can I find common ground so that my life can match up as well? And so Ordinary People is an amazing, amazing concept, and I'm excited to be a part of the Ordinary People family.
Hey, I'm Megan Shepard, a reporter here at the ZNS Northern Service. Did you know that ZNS is right at your fingertips when you download the new ZNS app? Missed something in our newscast? That's okay. Simply pull up the app, swipe, and you'll find all of our news headlines and highlights. So what are you waiting for? Download the new ZNS app today.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, the tropics is quiet, but we have a number of
troughs that are affecting our weather. There's a mid-level trough in the southeast Bahamas. As you can see, that firing up some heavy showers around the Turks and Caicos Island. Also, Meg 1 experiencing some of those showers as well. And in the northwest Bahamas, pockets of showers courtesy of a troughing that's out of the remnants of Florence, and that will remain in the area through tomorrow, so there will be occasional showers and thunderstorms right into tomorrow morning. Today, tonight, we're going in for variable cloudiness with pockets of showers and thunderstorms remaining, 75 degrees for your low temperature. And then tomorrow, those morning showers will continue, but the sun will come out in the afternoon. So we're looking at a mixed bag of sun and clouds in the afternoon with a high temperature of 89 degrees. The extended weather forecast, showers in pockets right into Saturday morning, but things will dry out in Saturday afternoon. So if you're planning any outdoor activities, well, the same sort of afternoon will be your best shot on Saturday. And as we head into Sunday and Monday of next week, lots more sunshine in the forecast.
Thanks so much, Basil. Well, that does it for the Bahamas tonight. On behalf of our teams over in Freeport and right here in Nassau, thanks so much for tuning in. We hope to see you right back here tomorrow. Have a great evening, Bahamas.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
The Bahamas is eager to expand its agriculture and marine resources industry. So what are the advancements in the sector? Well, we talked to the experts in this edition of The Read Factor.